What is up, guys? Today we're going to be unboxing the iPhone 13 Pro here. Gonna set you back $1,000 here. One of the first iPhones with the high refresh rate, which I was really excited about because you guys know I'm a big display person. And let's go ahead and get started here. This is the silver version. I know it looks white, but it looks white on the box, but it's supposed to be silver. Also, there's no plastic on the box anymore as well. Okay. And I mean, it does look, oh yeah, well, I mean, I have the lights hitting it. It does look kind of white, like a matte white, but I mean, it doesn't really look that silver to me. Alright, so let's just get this off here. Boom. The cameras on here are so massive now, it's actually pretty crazy. These are huge, way bigger than it looks on any video. So any video you watch already on the 13 Pro, just know that when you actually see the cameras in real life, they are like massively big here. Alright, so we do have our power cable, of course here, our charging cable, and then we've got your SIM tool, ejector, and then your single Apple sticker here. Alright, so my initial first impressions of the hardware is that it feels really solid. The matte finish on here is really nice. I really do like it. It does not pick up fingerprints. And again, you know, I'm going to stress that these cameras are massive, guys. We have our power button on here, as well as volume markers, mute switch. It is a, you know, stainless steel frame on here, as well as a glass back. And it's just a really solid feeling phone. Definitely doesn't feel super heavy or anything like that. And it's a pretty good size for anybody who has smaller hands, you know, at 6.1 inches. It's not like a massive phone. Obviously, if you want something really small, you would go with the, you know, iPhone mini or something like that. But this definitely is kind of comfortable, so no complaints there. Alright, so let's talk about the display here. 120 hertz. Can you notice the difference? A lot of people wanted to know because iOS was already so smooth. So I have my 12 mini here just so I can see and compare the displays. And the first thing that I noticed right off the bat, going from the 60 hertz to 120 hertz, was that on the mini, when you come out like that, when you look at the animations, the mini looks like it's kind of like jerky a little bit. And I'm not saying it's slow or anything like that, but everything looks buttery smooth on the 13 Pro. So I'm really impressed with the 120 hertz. I'm glad it's finally on iOS devices. It's been on Android for a very long time. So I'm glad that's there, and you really don't, I think normal people will notice it more when you're scrolling like that on stuff like YouTube or Instagram. You know, that 120 hertz is going to be kicking in, so everything is going to be super smooth, silky smooth. So I think that'll sell a lot of people, is that just that super smooth experience that you're seeing here. Also, the display itself, so the notch is 20% smaller, which at this point every year I buy these iPhones, I always go on a rant about the notch. I'm hearing rumors that the notch will go away with the iPhone 14. It'll move to like a punch hole. They'll put Face ID under the display or something like that. So, you know, I'm excited for that, but if they don't, you know, this is as good as it's going to get. Honestly, most Apple users do not care. As far that's what I'm learning. Most Apple users do not care, so I quit complaining about it, honestly. So you do have a Super Retina XDR display. It's got HDR10. It's also a 1170 by 2532 resolution with 460 for the PPI. So the display is fine. It gets super bright. I went outdoors to take some photos, and it was very bright. So overall, I think the display on here is going to be one of the biggest upgrades for me, at least. 120 hertz with the slightly smaller notch was really nice to see this year. Alright guys, so we do have the Apple A15 chip on here. I do want to show you guys the benchmarks that I have here. So these are the benchmarks, iOS 15. You can see how it compares. And I'll also show you the Antutu score right here as well. So just a really good bump up as far as the CPU and GPU goes. It's a pretty big move here. All right, so we pretty much know, the 13 Pro and all of the, phones with the A15 chip is going to be great for gaming. And we also have on here 128 gigs of storage and 6 gigs of RAM. You even have an option to go up to a terabyte as well. And of course, with iPhones, we don't get any SD card support. And as you can see, you'll be able to max, like I said, anything out with those, scores. It's just virtually lag free. Also, just using the phone, it stayed relatively cool as well. Again, I'll drop a full gaming test for you guys to just see if this phone is going to be heating up or anything like that. But what is really interesting is that since we do have the 120 hertz panel here, that means we will start to get, a ton of games that are going to be updated for this panel. So we'll have some really cool, 120 hertz compatible games to play on here, which I think is going to be awesome. And as always, the gaming experience is going to be fine. Obviously, the notch is a little bit smaller, so it's not going to cut into your game, as much as the bigger ones. But again, overall, just my initial impressions of just gaming on here. It's super smooth, and so far I'm not really having any problems with heating or, of course, anything like laggy. Alright, we do have stereo speakers on here. Let's go ahead and check those out. Max out the volume here. So just in case you were wondering, of course, it's this speaker and this earpiece speaker. This little speaker here is just for show. Yeah, but the speakers sound great. Zero distortion on here. Also a ton of bass. If you guys can hear that, bass is really booming on this guy. Very clear sound on here as well. Let's try to put it down. And of course, this thing will never, it'll never sit completely down because of the massive cameras. It's kind of like, like tilted like that. But speakers sound really good. Alright, before we touch on the cameras, I do want to, mention the phone does, of course, have NFC for Apple Pay, just in case you don't know. And you also have on here your Face ID to unlock the phone. Now, I was hoping that, with this model, Apple was going to bring Touch ID back, put it on the display, and then I thought we were going to have a much smaller notch. But hopefully with the iPhone 14, they do that. And also, you do have the MagSafe charging, which is supposed to be much stronger on this device as well. So that's really good because last year's MagSafe was, to me, it was very flimsy when I was watching it, so I wasn't really interested in it. Alright, so for the cameras, it's kind of like the big upgrade that everybody was talking about, and I do think it was a pretty good upgrade here. So you have a 12 megapixel standard, a 12 megapixel telephoto, a 12 megapixel ultra wide, and then you actually have a macro camera in here now. So if you go like really close up, it switches on its own. So like on Android, you have like a macro button. So I'm not a huge fan of it switching on its own like that, but it does work fine and you can get really close up, and I'll show you some macro shots. But you also have 4K video at 2430 or 60 FPS with a 12 megapixel selfie that shoots in 4K, 24, 25, 30, or 60 FPS. So image quality was fantastic on here. I mean, I was really impressed with image quality. I was mostly impressed with low light photos. The photos that I was trying to take in low light, it did such a great job of cleaning up the images and giving it detail. I mean, I was really impressed. So it just didn't like boost the ISO. It actually did a really great job with low light. So I was super impressed with that. And overall images is what you would expect from a $1,000 phone. You're gonna get great detail, great color on here. Just everything you would expect from a $1,000 phone. Great dynamic range. It's taking some excellent quality photos here. So it is, I would put it up there with one of the best camera systems up there with the S21 Ultra, of course. The 3x zoom is pretty good on here as well. So overall I'm just really impressed. I'm going to show you guys the video so you guys can see that, and you can also hear the mic quality as well. And the cinematic mode is pretty cool too, and you'll see that it's okay as far as like manually switching the depth, but when you do it like when you're just moving the phone and trying to switch it, it is a little bit jerky, but it definitely does work. Alright guys, here is just the standard video on the 13 Pro here, and it looks pretty good. You can bounce out to the ultra wide, and then we can go to our 3x. Alright guys, so the cinematic video on here, or portrait video, is pretty cool. You know, for its first release, I think it's fine. You have to tap to focus, so I can sort of tap on the ball here to focus in, or I can do it manually. If you do it manually, it's not going to be as fast. So as you can see, I can go from here and then look at the ball here. It'll try to focus on the object, come back. Like, you know, it's a little bit, a little bit slow, but I think with some software updates, I think this has potential to be really good. It's supposed to pretty much mimic a high-end DSLR. All right, so I believe Apple's claim for the battery life was that it's supposed to be an hour 30 minutes longer as far as your screen on time. So that's to me that's a pretty big claim, especially for iPhones, because as far as like the 12, the battery life was just okay to me. Using Android phones with like 5,000 milliamp batteries, you can really see a phone go a day, 2 days. So I'm really excited to see, how long this phone goes here. So it does have a 3,125 milliamp battery. And of course you have the 20-watt charging, which again is a little slow. I believe the 13 Pro Max has the 25-watt charging. So I feel like 30 watts should be like the standard now, but the 20 watts I guess is fine. And there's like concerns about battery health. People get into this debate with me about battery health and stuff like that, if the phone is charging too fast or whatever. But hey, I'm not gonna get into that right now. But yeah, so you definitely are supposed to have better battery life on here. So I think the 13 Pro is definitely a solid upgrade. I think anybody with an older iPhone will definitely see a huge difference here as far as image quality if you're coming from an iPhone 10, an iPhone 8. And as far as the 120 hertz is just for anybody that is really into displays, you're gonna really like the 120 hertz display on here. The smaller notch is okay. It's not super noticeable, but it's kind of noticeable, but it's not anything crazy. And yeah, so the hardware to me is just really awesome on here. I really like that, and it's blazing fast with this A15 chip. So I think it's a pretty solid upgrade, especially if you're coming from a older iPhone. So thanks for watching. What do you guys think? Be sure to let me know. I'll catch you guys in the next one.